Welcome everybody to the Emotional Exhale class. My name is Meredith Olin and I am delighted to present this to you today. Do you feel emotionally overwhelmed, or would you like to be in a better place emotionally? Would you like to feel clearer and stronger? Do you feel yourself taking shallow breaths? Do you have lots of buried feelings under the surface? Do you find your chest tightening and your airways feeling restricted? Do you worry that if you feel your emotions inside, they will drown you? Does your body seem to be holding everything that you've experienced the last few years? Then you are in the right place and you are not alone, because we are going to take a look at the what, why, and how of all that overwhelm, and then we are going to forge the way out. It's time to get unstuck, to let go of the weight holding you down, and to move forward in peace and power towards the best version of yourself. It is time for a deep soul-altering breath, one that reaches into the places of hurt and trauma, acknowledges the pain, truly heals the wound, and lets you live from a place of safety. It's time for an emotional exhale. Emotions are a part of our daily life. They are unavoidable. Emotions are simply reactions that we experience in response to events or situations. The type of emotion that we experience is determined by the circumstance that triggers the emotion. For instance, a person experiences joy when they receive good news. A person experiences fear when they are threatened. There is a physical reason for this. Our brains have specific areas where we process emotion. The system of the brain responsible for memory and mood is the limbic system. It includes the hippocampus, the hypothalamus, and the amygdala. When we look at the structure of the brain, we see that the amygdala, a tiny almond-shaped structure, is key when it comes to emotion and fear. The hippocampus is where new nerve cells are created, and it is physically beside the structure responsible for the emotions. It is connected to the nose via the cranial nerve. Now, that may sound like a bit of science jargon, but let's hear that again. The part of the brain where new nerve cells are created is connected to the part that processes emotions and is also connected to our sense of smell. That is powerful. That is how we process trauma. That is how we rewire our brains. That is how we move forward in peace. And that is what we are going to talk about in this class. Everyone carries unprocessed emotions from experiences to some degree. However, emotions that aren't dealt with don't just go away. They can affect the way you think about yourself, how you react to stress, your physical well-being, and your relationships with others. We want to utilize the tools that we have to dig deep and release the emotional baggage of trauma that is weighing us down. So let's put down those emotional backpacks and utilize the beautiful system of our minds and bodies to find that emotional exhale that we all desperately need. Our emotions are closely linked to our physical bodies. If you've ever felt your stomach churn from anxiety or your heart beat faster with worry and fear, then you know that this is true. This is because of the central nervous system. A quick science lesson. The central nervous system has two branches, the autonomic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system controls involuntary bodily responses such as blood flow and digestion. The sympathetic nervous system is charged with controlling the body's fight or flight reactions. Both of these systems are affected by and involved in our emotional responses. For now, let's focus on the sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight response. We will be in one of three places within our sympathetic nervous system, either the ventral, which is also known as the right amount of energy. We feel calm, grounded, able to give and receive connection with others when we're in this space. The sympathetic is also known as too much energy. That's when we are hyperactive, frustrated, angry, yelling, anxious, panicking, or defensive. And then there's the dorsal, which is also known as having drained or zero energy. This is when we feel shut down, closed off, depressed, zoned out, numbed, hopeless, and sluggish. Now think about each of those three states. What does it look like for you to be in ventral? What does it feel like emotionally, physically? What about sympathetic or dorsal? Write these things down. This will help you identify the state of your sympathetic nervous system and your triggers for activation. Our goal is to spend as much time in ventral energy, where we feel grounded and calm. But past trauma and pain can hijack the system and send us down the spiral into an activated sympathetic state, or further down into a numbed or depressed dorsal state. This is why it is so important for us to identify trauma and process and heal the past, so that we can rewire those responses and spend our time in a calm state with the right amount of energy. This is also the energetic state where we can grow, connect, and thrive. And you guessed it, one of the best tools for rewiring this system, essential oils. So how do essential oils help with our emotions? The short answer is because of the power of aromatherapy and the limbic system. Our sense of smell is directly related to our emotions and our mood. The cranial nerve associated with smell goes from your nose into your brain and ends next to the hypothalamus, the area of the brain responsible for mood, feelings, and emotional processing. This is why a scent can trigger a memory or even a feeling. Vanilla reminds you of baking cookies with your best friend. Lavender reminds you of your grandmother. You get the idea. This is why aromatherapy is so effective when it comes to processing emotions and dealing with the needs such as anxious thoughts, stress, and even low mood. Essential oils are also great for emotions because they contain constituents that can cross the blood-brain barrier to help reprogram bad coding as a result of trauma. Then other compounds rewrite that code to restore the original perfect copy, one that will not keep us pulled into the physical and emotional effects of stress. This is a process, but the great thing about essential oils is that we have a choice to embrace that process instead of loading our bodies up with toxins, chemicals, and other things that create more confusion in the cells. There is no shame in using conventional tools available to you to help you through when needed. But remember that they are only intended for use while you're also doing the emotional work. This is why adding essential oils, daily affirmations, and emotional processing to your daily routine can help you truly rewire the system and create more peaceful baseline for your emotional health. So when it comes to bringing products into our lives and homes, we want you to know that we have a company that we can trust to keep our best interests in mind. We want the peace of mind knowing that we are getting the best possible options, especially when it comes to farming, harvesting, and distilling the plants in our oils. And that's why we love Young Living. Young Living is a company dedicated to purity and purpose. In a world of bottom lines and investor-driven quotas, this family-owned, farm-driven group of people simply want to create the very best sustainable oils and products for the people that you care about. Products that will bring you thriving physical, mental, and emotional health. Products backed by proven science and experimental evidence that will never sacrifice quality for any reason. Seed to Seal is the Young Living commitment that helps ensure that with every pure essential oil that Young Living product that your family uses, you're enjoying the benefits of global resources, industry leadership, and over 2 decades of innovation. The result? A pristine final product that you know has been created with conscientious sourcing, science, and standards, the 3 pillars of the Seed to Seal promise. Sometimes the thing that helps buckle down to help us make a change is actually to let go, which sounds easy, but it can take intentional work to truly let go and not revisit past pains that feel like a gaping wound. It takes work, but when we are equipped with tools to help us do that work, it is easier. So the starting point is to take a second and think about your past. You have probably experienced trauma and you may not even know it. Let's talk about trauma. It's a bit of a buzzword, but honestly, there is a good reason for that. We have all experienced things in our lives that shaped us for good and for bad. And oftentimes we have experienced trauma that has created habits and responses in us that can often be overlooked. Do you feel easily overwhelmed, anxious about the future, frustrated with how your life has turned out? Easily annoyed with family or co-workers, snap at people when you don't really want to or mean to? You likely have trauma that needs to be processed. For our purposes, trauma can be defined as any situation where you got less than what you needed and were not equipped to process it. It may have been a parent who worked long hours to provide for the family, making them unable to attend your games, school events, and other things. It may have been adoption. You may have had wonderful, loving adoptive parents, but still carry a wound from before that time. It may have been an acute event that you vividly remember. The point is here that we all likely have trauma, and sometimes it takes a little digging to find it, to find how it shaped you, and to find how it is showing up in your life today. And if we don't do the work to process those emotions, they remain stuck in our bodies and subconscious, where they likely continue to wreak havoc. So what do? We take active, intentional steps to release those emotional patterns. Essential oils are a wonderful tool for this. We can use the scent to revisit past pain, honor the experience, heal the wound, and move forward in peace. We have the capability to rewire those pathways of trauma that are causing our nervous systems to move into fight or flight or shutdown mode, and that is a powerful tool. So how do you do this? You grab an oil and isolate what emotion you are feeling. Think about the opposite of that emotion and deeply inhale the oil as you sit quietly. After a time, practice rewiring that pathway with a truth or affirmation. Doing this daily as you process through a specific event or emotion will help. Another great way to process emotions is through movement. This can be walking, yoga, swimming, cycling, etc., just as long as the movement physically moves your body through space. Grab your oils and apply or diffuse them as you move, breathing in the oil as you mentally and physically process. And for some individuals, those steps may also include therapy and counseling. There is a lot of value in third-party listening and giving insight into your experiences, and there is no shame in that. Truth is a good thing and a necessary thing, and it can feel like a complex thing as well. Your past pain and trauma is true, and so is the ability for you to find freedom from it. Everyone's trauma is different, but remember that our definition here is a time where you did not receive what you needed and were not equipped to handle it. Using oils and truths or affirmations will help rewire the pathways in your brain to create new ones that are peaceful and whole. Speaking truth over our lives, our situations, and even our past is essential to the emotional release process. This can be done in multiple different ways. So choose one that feels good to start with and consider adding in some other practices as you move forward. Here's a few that you can use. Number one is affirmation. This can be as simple as identifying the emotion or emotions that you wish to release, finding the opposite of them, and then repeating a mantra or a few each day as you breathe in an essential oil. 2, journaling. Writing can be a powerful tool for processing emotions. This can look like writing a letter to a younger version of yourself, to a parent or family member, to the good girl or boy you felt you had to be, or really to anyone, real or imaginary, or a past version of a real person. Grab a pen and paper instead of typing, as our eyes track and process differently on a blue light device. Fire up your diffuser, apply an oil blend, and inhale as you write. Number 3, detox baths. Because our emotions affect our physical health, and because we really need to slow down to process them, taking a long bath can be great for processing. Grab about a couple of of Epsom salts, and add a few drops of essential oils or a blend. Fire up your diffuser as well, and then sit and soak as you isolate your emotions. Find the other side and process through any trauma that you uncover. Continue to breathe the oils as you go. Visualization is number 4. You can use visualization to revisit a past pain and rewire the pathways in your brain as you move your nervous system into a safe space. Think back to a painful period in your life. Who was there? What did it look like? How did it feel? How old are you? Sit there for a moment. Now visualize someone who feels safe, strong, and nurturing to you. It can be a real person or someone fictional or someone you make up. Imagine that person coming in and giving the younger version of yourself exactly what you needed in that moment. As we move forward to talk about using essential oils for emotional release, come back to these practices as a way to actually work through your emotions and trauma. and add at least one of them to your daily routine and then add others. We know that our sense of smell is directly related to our emotions and mood because of the limbic system. This means that we can intentionally use aromatherapy to process past trauma, rewiring the signals in our brains and release the negative emotions we carry. It's so empowering because we have the power to change our thoughts. We have the power to change our emotions. We have the power to change our actions, even in the face of stress. The practice of aromatherapy has been around for centuries and has become incredibly popular in the area of study in the last decade. There are countless studies on PubMed about the ways that essential oils can positively impact health areas such as immunity, mood and emotions, sleep, racing thoughts, focus, and so much more. So now we're going to talk about the feelings kit oils. And this leads into a wonderful challenge that we are going to be doing in July. So let's talk about release. Release is one of the most powerful essential tools around. This oil is a blend of ylang-ylang, lavender, geranium, royal Hawaiian sandalwood, grapefruit, tangerine, lemon, blue cypress, davana, which is a powerful emotional oil, lime, ocotea, jasmine, chamomile, blue tansy, which is highly supportive and calming to the central nervous system, and rose. I mean, isn't that an amazing list? In short, it is a powerhouse blend of highly valuable oils that are high frequency. For example, rose, davana, and jasmine, and help us tap into past trauma that we've experienced, honor those experiences, heal the wounds, and release the pain to move forward into our full potential. Release essential oil can help process and release feelings of anger, frustration, being held back, rebellion, feeling wronged, fear of success, and loss of identity. And remember that trauma here is defined as any situation where you got less than what you needed or were not equipped to process it. These traumas actually get stored deep within our cellular memory, and we can use the limbic system of the brain to help shift our thoughts and emotions around those traumas and patterns. It can help promote the positive side of those feelings, such as cleansing, freedom, harmony, and unconditional love, I should say. The next oil is Valor. Valor is a popular blend of frankincense, black spruce, blue tansy, camphor wood, and geranium that is helpful for many emotions around our activated sympathetic fight or flight response. Thus, its battle-worthy name. In fact, this oil was inspired by the oils that Roman soldiers would bathe in before battle. The oils would sit atop the water in their bathhouses, and this special blend was added before a big battle. When they rose from the water, the oils would soak and stay on their skin, I should say, to help prepare them for something big and scary ahead. Valor's woodsy, calming aroma comes from a blend of black spruce, blue tansy, and frankincense. This blend can also be a key oil in overcoming emotional abuse and recovering from trauma. It is a powerhouse when facing a trial or a season of adversity, because its natural properties help align the body both emotionally and physically. Valor has properties that help get to the core central centers of the negative emotional programs. When we're ready to make a change, to start challenging that fight or flight survival mode with a better way of thinking and living, this is the perfect oil. Now, forgiveness is a beautiful blend of high frequency oils. Ready for the list? Melissa, geranium, frankincense, royal Hawaiian sandalwood, coriander, angelica, bergamot, lemon, ylang-ylang, jasmine, helichrysum, Roman chamomile, palmarosa, and rose. That's 14 oils, everybody. These oils work synergistically to create a calm, uplifting environment when forgiving yourself and others, and can help us release the stagnant, toxic thoughts stuck in our body's memory that acts as a safety mechanism. When we release trauma or feel unsafe, thoughts become encoded in our nervous system. And from that point on, all of our senses give us warning notes via our subconscious and sometimes conscious thoughts. These memories and thoughts can be triggered by sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. and they show up in our current experiences and pull us down. The most common emotional patterns created are self-denial, revenge, and trust. The problem is that our bodies can't tell the difference between an emotional threat and a physical threat. When we start feeling emotionally vulnerable after these messages have been encoded, the body will start sending warnings, sometimes thousands of times per day, to keep us alive. We want to reverse those patterns and to restore the blueprint of our original ability to be at peace. In a child, essential oil blend combines orange, tangerine, ylang-ylang, royal Hawaiian sandalwood, jasmine, lemongrass, and spruce essential oils. This blend helps release the emotions that distort memories in our cells. Think of this like a picture or video from past events where little edits were made to present something threatening, even though that was not the case, or even if it wasn't the case. So the symptoms of this widely vary, but we might notice some patterns such as when someone tries to be honest, especially friends or family, we might continually hear their voice criticizing us for months afterwards. We find ourselves revisiting the same short list of past hurts on a regular basis, telling stories of what someone did or said to us, thinking each time that if we just vent, the pressure of that pain or offense will let up. We create an image of ourselves, typically a bad one, and no matter what we do to take care of ourselves, that recording makes sure we stay ashamed, disappointed, or hopeless. We might start feeling better about ourselves because we have fulfilled an imaginary list of things that make us feel accomplished, only to find that the stress of keeping up with that list starts to slowly steal from our relationships and our sanity. Inner child blend is sometimes referred to as the therapist. When you visit a therapist, they do their work not by talking, but through listening. They encourage you to share the feelings, past, and thoughts that make up your inner workings, to process how you came to your patterns, actions, and current beliefs. Many times there were situations where someone as a child felt unseen, unheard, or unvalued. In order to move forward, it is important to look back and allow that inner child to speak. When we consider what a child will need, we begin to see our own needs more clearly. It's obvious to us that a child who has experienced something new or difficult would require additional help and attention to deal with that event. Present time is a lovely blend of neroli, spruce, and ylang-ylang in a base of almond oil, making it wonderful for direct application or diffusing. Present time helps you focus on the here and now so that you can get beyond the past and move forward. When paired with other emotional support oils, this is a very powerful tool for truly being present with your current experiences and releasing the pain of your past. Neroli is steam distilled from orange blossoms and is the most lovely, uplifting aroma. Neroli was used by the ancient Egyptians for the healing of the mind, body, and spirit. It is stabilizing and strengthening to the emotions, promotes peace, confidence, and awareness, and brings mental awareness to alleviate anxiety, depression, and insomnia. Spruce is a powerful emotional oil. It helps us to open and release emotional blocks and helps foster a sense of balance and grounding. And ylang-ylang essential oil promotes relaxation, balances male and female energies, restores confidence and equilibrium, and alleviates insomnia, which often occurs when we are repressing emotions. This blend of essential oils creates a strong, encouraging scent to increase the ability to focus on the present moment. As busy men and women, parents, caregivers, employees, etc., we can become so focused on the next deadline, task, or responsibility, and it becomes very easy to lose sight of what is directly in front of us. The stack of papers or dishes or laundry seems so time sensitive that we rush through the people in front of us: children, spouses, partners, friends, even ourselves. Present time helps us to allow ourselves to give and receive in the present, even when we have been hurt in the past. Harmony Essential Oil Blend contains some amazing emotional support oils: sacred sandalwood, lavender, ylang-ylang, frankincense, orange, angelica, geranium, hyssop, Spanish sage, black spruce, coriander, bergamot, lemon, jasmine, Roman chamomile, palmarosa, and rose. These oils work together to help us promote harmony within our minds and bodies through releasing the past, finding peace in the present, and looking forward to the future. So diffusing is quite possibly one of the easiest health habits to start. Not only will your home, office, or car smell amazing, you can support specific needs or body systems at the same time. And Young Living has amazing diffusers. They've got quite a number, but we're just going to talk about two. So the Aria is one of Young Living's most popular products because it is beautiful, functional, and elegant. Crafted from American maple and beautiful glass, the Aria has a vibe of all its own. And the other favorite diffuser, and that's the one picture, by the way, that you can see, the Aria. Another favorite one is called the Desert Mist. And this is a tried and true companion. It is beautiful, functional, and even a great option for creating fun seasonal decor. The design of it features a romantic Moroccan trellis pattern and a lovely white and gold color scheme, so it fits its style. So really, I encourage you to look at the different diffusers and make sure that you incorporate this in your wellness regimen, because it is seriously one of the best things that you can do. It is gentle and yet powerful for your wellness over time. So if you like making life simpler, saving money, getting free products, and getting a good discount, then this is for you. Say hello to Loyalty Rewards, otherwise known as Essential Rewards here in Australia. And I encourage you, to have a look at this. If you are not yet a member, talk to somebody who has shared this with you. Find out the best bang for your buck, because Young Living's Loyalty Rewards program is seriously amazing. It's like Flybys, except obviously a lot more generous than a lot of other companies. I'm not going to go into all the details just for time, but have a look at it. And I'm going to mention the Feelings Kit, because all the oils that we've just talked about are in one handy kit that actually saves you money. I think it's about $93 Australian to buy these in a kit rather than individually. The Feelings collection includes the 6 essential oil blends that you can use morning and evening to promote peaceful thoughts and harmony. Each of these oils is a powerful tool for its own emotional release, and when combined, you have a truly incredible tool for your emotional health. And in the month of July, the Dreamcatcher group is going to be running a special emotional exhale challenge where we're using this kit. We're doing a 2 or 3 minute protocol each day together to release trauma, to bring ourselves to a healthier place emotionally, because when we are in a better place emotionally, we have a more capacity, increased capacity to handle everything that we need to handle in our lives. So grab this kit on Essential Rewards if you are in Young Living, or talk to the person who shared this recording with you. We'd love to have you join our group. We have a Facebook group. We're going to have a great time in July doing this together and supporting ourselves as we go. And thank you for listening, everybody.